Hello everyone, your professor is here, Spider-Man is here, the Avengers are here, and we all want to welcome you to History of Christianity, Early to Medieval. Now, this is not your high school history class. You know, if you're a fan of the Harry Potter stories, you know that History of Magic was the most boring class. It was taught by Professor Benz, who is a ghost. He died of boredom and just continued teaching. Well, you know, I'm old, but I'm not dead yet. And church history is not dead. It is alive, and we are an ongoing part of it. Well, I'm excited about church history, and I hope that my enthusiasm is contagious. First, let's look over the syllabus and discuss the requirements and expectations. Okay, let's go. Oh, first we've got a picture of me and my family at Audubon Zoo. There we are monkeying around, but we don't have time for that monkey business. So let's go on to the syllabus. All right, this is an internet class, and I assure you that I have done my best to create a robust learning environment for you. And so it is my hope that history will come alive as you study this semester. Here is my contact information. The best way to reach me is through email. And so my email address is on the syllabus. Typically, I'm going to answer within a day or two. Unless you write me on the weekend, typically I'm going to wait until Monday to respond to business emails. But if it's an emergency, please go ahead and reach out, and I will respond as soon as I can. You're welcome to phone me at any time. You see the seminary's phone number there, and my extension is 3214. Or come by my office. I'm in the Dodd building, office number 105. My door is usually open or at least unlocked, and I'm here unless I'm in the classroom, maybe I'm at lunch, or maybe I've wandered into the student center to see what's going on there. So you might want to phone or email before you come by my office, but you are always welcome. All right, there are two required textbooks. One is Justo Gonzalez, The Story of Christianity, Volume 1. All right, I hope that you enjoy this book. My students give me positive reviews about it. Justo Gonzalez has a very readable style. And to tell the truth, one of the influences that sparked my interest in church history was this textbook, because Justo Gonzalez tells Christianity like it is a story, so it makes it very interesting. All right, the other textbook is Documents of the Christian Church, and this is a reader full of primary sources. This will allow you to get into the thoughts and writings of the historical figures that we are studying. There will be additional required reading from primary sources that are available for free on the internet, and all of this is lined out in your reading schedule in the back of the syllabus. You can order your textbooks through nobts.ecampus.com. Go to that site and follow the instructions. Now, of course, this class is conducted on Blackboard. You will automatically be enrolled onto Blackboard, and it should be available to you on the first day of class, which is January 19. The discussion board. The first thing I'd like for you to do when you go to Blackboard is to go to the discussion board and find the place for your introduction. And I would like for you to tell me and your classmates something about yourself. where you're from, about your family of origin or the family that you have now. Tell me your background, your the major that you're working on. What is your ministry goal? What are the things that you like to do? And I like pictures. Please post a picture of you doing the things that you like to do. You'll notice that I have led the way with more information than you want to know about me, but I'm telling you about my background and my wife, my family, my grandchildren, and I have lots of pictures for you to look at. So enjoy getting to know your professor through the introduction. All right, on the left margin of your blackboard, you'll see a link to course documents. If you open that up, you'll see that the course is divided up into 6 units. And as you open up each unit, you'll find PowerPoint lectures and also audio files, so that if you open up the audio file, you can listen to my lecture as you scroll through the PowerPoints. My hope here is that this will help to create somewhat of a classroom experience for you where you are. You'll find bonus features like extra articles, photos, videos, maps, and charts. And so look for those to enhance your learning experience. Now also in each unit you'll find a study guide that will help you prepare for your unit exam, which also you will access in each unit, and then also your unit reading report. We'll talk about these next. All right, your unit assignments each unit concludes on a certain deadline. All right, and so you will see the deadlines listed in your syllabus. And so at midnight, at the end of each date, your unit exam and reading report are due. Also, you'll need to post an application point on the discussion board before that date. All right, what are these assignments? There are 6 unit assignments, exams, 6 unit exams. Each exam is closed book, closed note, open memory. The exam questions will follow your lecture notes as well as your textbook. You have 20 minutes to complete your online exam. When you open it up, a timer will begin. However, it will not shut down the exam at 20 minutes. So if you get close to the end of that time, go ahead and answer the last question or two, or review your answers if you like. But 20 minutes is the goal for completion of your unit exam. The reason for this is that it helps me to keep you accountable for the time that you spend on the exam. Remember, you're not to spend time looking up the answers in your book or your notes, okay? And so if you go over the 20 minutes by an extended period of time, I will notice, and I may ask you why. All right. Each unit exam has a base value of 25 points, but I've included bonus questions that can increase the value of each exam. And so these are good, all right? They give you an opportunity to score some extra points. All right, the word bonus comes from the Latin word for good, and so be glad of the bonus questions. More questions means more opportunities for you to earn points. All right, so out of the 6 exams, the lowest grade will be dropped. Okay, I have planned the class in this way in case you forget to take an exam, or if you have computer problems, or if you go out of town for a D-Now or a revival and you cannot take the exam. That's okay. You can be exempted from one exam without penalty. And if you're satisfied with your first 5 exam scores, well, then you can exempt yourself from the 6th. All right? So let's move on to the reading report. When you open up the reading report, you will have an opportunity to indicate how much of the reading you completed for that unit. It's easy if you read it all. That's 100%, and that's 5 points. If you didn't quite read everything, well, then that's 80%, and you can earn 4 points. Well, maybe, just a little over half, that's 60% or 3 points, and so forth. But please do your reading. You cannot learn as much as I want you to know about church history by simply looking over the PowerPoint lectures. You must do your reading in your textbooks, and I hope that you will do so. And I hope that you will answer honestly as you report your reading. At the end of the semester, you'll have an opportunity to submit a bonus reading report. 5-point bonus will be awarded to students who have completed all the assigned reading for the semester. So if you miss some of your reading in one unit or another, you can go back and complete that reading by the end of the semester and make up some of the points you lost with the bonus reading report. Or if you read everything all along, well, then you get a nice 5-point plus at the end. The reading schedule is included at the end of the syllabus. All right, application points. I want to emphasize to you that the study of church history applies to our lives and ministries. I believe that history is a tapestry, and we still are a part of everything that has gone before, and we have an influence on what comes after. And so I want us to apply church history to our lives and ministries. After studying all of the assigned reading, lecture material, bonus features, and so on, go to the discussion board and you'll have an opportunity to post an application point. I want it to be substantive, between 150 and 300 words, and each application point is worth up to 15 points. All right, but your application point must be posted by the end of the unit. Your application point could be one or more of the following. It could be a sermon illustration or a teaching point that you gleaned out of your study. You could have learned an insight that you plan to apply in your ministry or your personal life. Or maybe you learned a lesson that is inspiring to your devotion to Christ. And remember, sometimes we apply the negative lessons that we learned. Sometimes we learn what not to do when we study about figures in church history. All right, your first written assignment is a movie review. How often do you get to watch a movie and get credit for a history class? All right, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And even though it was made quite a while ago, in fact, it was made the year that your professor was born. Oh my, it is that old. But I think you will enjoy it. It is an epic movie about first century Christianity. The story involves Christians who are persecuted and martyred under the ruler Nero. All right, so we'll talk more about the movie and the requirements for this review later. I'll just summarize quickly to say that this is a history assignment because I want you to evaluate the movie for its historicity. Okay, you'll evaluate its historical accuracy and value and list any discrepancies that you notice. All right, so that's the movie review. Your next major written assignment is a research paper. In your syllabus, there's a list of topics. Some of them are subjects for a biography. Others are broader topics for a research paper. but a number of ideas there. If you have an idea that you would like to write about, if it is not listed, feel free to inquire about it, and I will consider it and allow it if possible. All right, but I want you to send me a list of your top 3 to 5 choices at your earliest convenience. I will not allow duplicates, and the favorites will go quickly. I will reply with your assignment and maybe some suggested resources. And so that's another task that you can do early on. Now, just some ideas about how to write the research paper for my class. First, you want to have an introduction. You'll introduce your subject by summarizing why this person or topic is important to read about. Now, you'll next move into a section on the subject's early life, or even if it's a movement, but remember that the early life of a person must be brief, all right, so that you reserve the major body of the paper to the person's contribution. Just briefly tell the birth date of your subject. You know, sometimes in these ancient histories, we do not know exactly when a person was born or when that person died, and so there's no reason to get bogged down to take up space in your paper on the date. Just briefly move on from these dates to give to me and to your readers the person's contributions. As a rule, whether you're writing on a person or a movement, a chronological approach is best, and briefly tell the death date. Now, after you've finished with the main body of your paper, your conclusion should summarize the legacy of your subject, whether it's a person or a movement. So the conclusion summarizes the legacy, and then your last section will be a discussion point or points that you gleaned from your research and writing. Again, I want you to apply what you've learned to your life and ministry. Now, if you choose to include subheadings, insert 2 blank lines above, 1 blank line below. There's no need for a table of contents. There's no need for chapters. All right, here's another emphasis on the application point. After writing the conclusion, each student will add at least 1 application point. All right, and we've discussed this could be a sermon illustration, an application to your ministry, or a lesson learned for your personal life. Again, I want you to learn how to apply church history to your own life and ministry. All right, now we have some tools available to you. One is Safe Assignment, and you will see under assignments, you'll have an opportunity to submit your research paper a first draft, and this will send it to Safe Assignment. They will review your paper, and they will send you back a report where they have highlighted the material that is found in its database. Okay, this means that this material that is in your paper can be found elsewhere. So you've probably quoted it or cited it. You need to be sure that it is set apart by quotation marks, or that you have cited it properly in a footnote. And if too much of your paper is highlighted, well, you need to review your paper to be sure that you put more of it in your own words. I realize this is a research paper, and I know that you are doing research among what others have written about your topic, but I want you to assimilate that information and then put it back in your own words. Please take a note if you'll see footnotes and bibliographical entries highlighted on your Safe Assignment, and of course that is completely acceptable. Now, there is a style guide available to you. You'll find it on the Writing Center's page. You'll see the web address there, and it's in your syllabus. This will help you navigate how to compose footnotes and bibliographical entries and do other style responsibilities for the paper. All right, your third and last written assignment is the book review of Mark Noll's Turning Points. This book has 13 different turning points in church history. And Mark Noll has given us a survey of all of church history. Now, this is an important assignment because it is an embedded assignment. That means that the church history department is responsible to provide an assignment that is summative, that covers all of church history, and is completed by all students for all sections of this course. Okay? And your book review will be graded according to your fulfillment of the instructions in the syllabus. All right, the syllabus gives you a list of requirements, a bibliographical entry at the top of the first page of the review, a brief biographical sketch of the author. When it comes to Mark Noll, he has written a lot, so we just need just a brief statement about who he is and what he has done. All right, the most important part of your book review is a 2 to 3 page summary of the contents of the book with a view to significant individuals, movements, institutions, and doctrines in the history of Christianity. Okay, so this will be the bulk of your review and the most important section, but do not overlook the other sections expected. I also want to see you discuss the principles learned from the history of Christianity in this book. Okay, broad principles that apply to everyone. But then last, I want you to evaluate the impact of this book and the study of Christian history on your own life and ministry. So again, application is important. All right, so although you will write your paper according to these guidelines, if you look in the very back of the syllabus, you'll see a rubric that will evaluate this assignment for the Writing Center. And so this paper is also used to evaluate the work of the Writing Center, and so you'll be graded according to your understanding, your communication, and your application. But again, if you follow the instructions in the syllabus, you will do that. All right, now, I've mentioned the Writing Center a couple of times. The Writing Center is a program begun by the seminary as part of our accreditation process. And so we are evaluating the work of the Writing Center, and you are an important part of that. And so you are required to send a draft to the Writing Center, a draft of this book review. And so once you send your paper to the Writing Center, they'll return a marked paper to you. And so you will upload that returned paper at a certain point under the assignment section. There'll be a place for you to upload the first draft. If you don't post proof that you submitted your book review to the Writing Center, you'll have a 10-point deduction from your grade. All right, now information about the Writing Center and the process for submitting papers can be found at this website. And again, this is in your syllabus. The Writing Center staff will review the paper and work with you as necessary to help you to improve it before the final paper is submitted. All right, so working with the Writing Center is a gift to you. It should help you in all of your academic writing and help you get a better grade. And so you can send proof of your research paper to the Writing Center, and they'll help you with that as well. But I especially need you to send your book review to the Writing Center. All right, are you still with me? Let's talk about how to submit all of these assignments. The unit exams, reading reports, and discussion threads will be conducted on Blackboard Unit tests and reading reports are under course documents under each respective unit, and then you go to the discussion board to add your application point. Movie review submitted under assignments. Same thing with a research paper. The difference is that you're going to submit your research paper under assignments and on the discussion board. Okay, and the reason for this is that I want other students to be able to access your research and writing on the discussion board. So there's a 5-point deduction if you do not submit your paper in both places. Okay, and then under assignments, you also submit your book review as well as the proof that you submitted your review to the Writing Center. Please do not submit your assignments as email attachments. My email inbox fills up so quickly. Unless there's a specific reason or unless I ask you to, go ahead and submit your assignments on Blackboard, either under assignments, on the discussion board, or in their respective places. All right, now I have to put on my ugly face and talk about penalties, because there are expectations for this class which you must meet. Unit exams and reading reports must be submitted by the date of the unit completion. After the deadline, unit exams and reading reports, they will disappear. You will not have access to them, and I will not reopen a unit exam or a reading report. Please do not ask me to do so. Okay? Think about how many students I have and how many times I'd have to be going back and forth to take care of reopening those exams and reading reports. Remember that one unit exam grade will be dropped, okay? And so that should save you one time, but no more than that. Right, on the discussion board, if you fail to participate adequately in the discussion board and to do so in a timely manner, well, that's going to affect the amount of points that are awarded. Otherwise, you get 15 points for every application point. All right, please do not be tardy with your written assignments. I am very serious about this. A late written assignment will be assessed a 10% penalty if it is submitted after the deadline. All right, the movie review is a 30-point assignment. You could lose 3 points. The book review is a 60-point assignment. You could lose 6 points. And oh my, the research paper is 100 points, so you could lose 10 points. Well, if you submit it after 5 days, then the penalty is doubled. After 1 week, well, you don't even want to know how severe the penalty will be, but I'm telling you, it will be pretty drastic, and no assignment will be accepted after 2 weeks past the deadline. I'm very serious about getting your written work in on time. I feel like promptness is a lesson that you need to learn. Okay, and remember to post your research paper under assignments and on the discussion board, otherwise you'll lose 5 points. Plagiarism is a serious infraction. A high standard of personal integrity is expected of all students at NOBTS. Any infraction will be reported to the Dean of Students for further action. You could fail the assignment or the class, or possibly after multiple infractions, you could be removed from the seminary. All right, you can look at the graduate catalog for more information on the definition of plagiarism and consequences for violations of that infraction. Okay, now I'm smiling again. Let's talk about how to earn points and how well you're going to do in this class. All right, for reading, the baseline is 30 points, 5 points for each of the unit reading reports, but remember the bonus, you could get 5 points above that. All right, on your tests, 5 points will be counted. 5 tests will be counted. They are worth 25 points at the baseline, but you have extra bonus questions that can give you extra points. Your movie review is worth 30 points, research paper 100 points, book review 60 points, and if you do a good job on all of your application points, that's worth up to 90 points. So a total of 435 points with the possibility of even more than that. And so students who score between 405 and 435 points will make an A. 370 to 404 is a B. A C is 335 to 369. You can see the numbers for the D, and if you score less than 260, well, that's a failing grade. Well, let me tell you that about half of you are going to make A's. Okay, that's typical in my classes, that almost half the class makes A's. Out of the other half, most are going to make B's. There will be a few C's and a couple of D's. But let me tell you that if you want to make an F in my class, you have to work very hard at it. To make an F, that means you didn't turn in your work, you didn't do your unit exams or your reading, or you committed plagiarism. And so, really and truly, if you do the work in my class, you will make a good grade. This is a doable course. You just have to do it. All right, now we're not meeting in a classroom, and so our COVID-19 protocols may not be serious for us as a class, but nonetheless, it is still a serious issue wherever you are. And so I want to encourage you to mask up, maintain your social distance, wash and sanitize your hands. All right, and when you qualify, be sure and get vaccinated. Please pray for a safe and healthy semester, whether you are studying at a distance or here on campus. We pray for safety and health. All right, so I'm leading the way. I'm masking up. Look at all those masks. My sweet thing, Margie, has made a number of masks for me. They're all reversible, but she knows me well enough to know that I'm more likely to wear a mask if it coordinates with my attire. So there you go, mask up. All right, well, we have reached the end of our syllabus. I hope you've understood everything. Of course, you have access to the text of the syllabus and look over it, and I hope that what I have verbalized will help you understand it. If you have any questions, well, just send me an email. I'm glad to help. Remember that you can go ahead and send me your requests for your research topic. As soon as you get access to Blackboard, please post an introduction and a picture too, if you would. And we're going to get started very soon, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're looking forward to it as well. God's blessings to all of you.